What one mistake ended your career? Not exactly a career, but I worked in a fast food spot that didn't have any air conditioning, and there's a workers' law where I live that states once it gets to a certain temp in the building, they legally can't stay open. I brought a thermometer to work. Fuckers should be thanking you for helping them stay in compliance. There's an old statement I remember hearing. Everyone loves firemen. Everyone loathes the inspector. That pairs well with the other statement. Safety regulations are often written in blood, which kinda encapsulates how many people out there think about things like preventative maintenance. All it takes sometimes is for someone to die from something completely preventable to make sure a rule is followed and that people never value the people that call this stuff out early. It creates more work and I have all these other important things to do. They cry, but then they turn around and glorify the people that have to respond in a crisis as the heroes for saving them from themselves. This isn't to say firefighters don't deserve it. They absolutely fucking do. But so do the people that call out stuff that can go sideways before it happens to give you a chance to fix it first. And GT. Everyone loves firemen. Everyone loathes the inspector. I'm a health inspector. Restaurant employees not liking me is understandable, although good owners, employees are respectful and understanding, but the general public hating me was a surprise. I'm out making sure food is safe to eat, but when I close down a restaurant because it isn't sanitary, people get downright hateful. Yet when they think they get sick from eating somewhere, then where is the first place they call? Oh yeah, also us. Edit. I'm only editing to add a thank you to all the support people have shown. I am appreciative of so many Redditors appreciating me and my profession. I truly wish more of you were vocal in the real world because we rarely hear anything but negativity. Even if I seldom hear that you value our work, I am glad to know that it isn't unnoticed. Be safe, everyone. I sent a scathing email about my boss directly to my boss. It wasn't meant for him. To this day I still have no idea what possessed me to put his name in the address bar. I noticed his name the exact moment I hit send. You have never felt that much panic. I set my emails to delay being sent for 10 seconds after hitting the send button. It's been useful many times. I use 2 minutes. Not taking chances lol. I use 2 weeks. It prevents a lot of problems, but admittedly causes some, too. Mine go out after a month or so. Not because I have a delay set, I just really like Internet Explorer. I have mine set to send once a year on a Friday at 3:58 p.m. You'll never proofread an email better than right after you hit send. There needs to be a word that describes a person after they send an email. You spontaneously turn into a spelling and grammatical savant. You remember every discussion topic that was accidentally left off the email. You remember people that should have been included. Post-click clarity. Called the HR lady the angel of death to a coworker on chat. Our was in a different state, so anytime they came to town we all knew it was most likely to lay off people. Angel of death came to get me shortly after. Tears of joy, tears of joy. Lady got mad and only proved you right, LMAO. A guy the first worked with was caught stealing 2 cigarettes from a colleague's bag. Was on a 6-figure salary. Not anymore. How can anybody be so dumb? Especially as a smoker, he should be aware how other smokers are very likely to share their cigarettes with you if you just ask them. I bet he's that asshole who asks for cigs all the time and never shares any of his own. That's how you become a millionaire. I was a part-time intern making $9 an hour, USD, and my boss asked if I had any plans for the weekend. I had said I was going to buy a new car, very much old and used as that's what I could afford, and he asked if I was buying a brand new car. My response was that my budget isn't big enough for a new car, and a couple weeks later during my 1-year review my manager said they didn't have the work for me and that I was disrespectful for telling the boss I didn't make enough money. At the time I was living comfortably as a college student, just needed different transportation. I tried not to be disrespectful, but apparently I was. You didn't make a mistake at all. Your boss was being a prick. How would you be buying a new car on $9 an hour? He knew how much you were getting paid and chose to ask you about a major financial decision. Screw that guy. Hey, do you make enough to buy a car? No. Well, fuck you too. The correct answer was, thank you for my pittance, generous and noble employer. Did that swizzle dick motherfucker think a part-time intern was able to afford a new car? I assume they were thinking, why don't you just borrow $20,000 from your parents? They were most likely thinking, why don't you borrow $4,000 from your parents? 'Cause you know, folks like that aren't known for keeping up with the prices. It's a car, Michael. How much could it cost? $9. Browsing for another job while at the job. That's why you do it on your phone using your own mobile data. So you're saying that if I search big beautiful butts on my mobile via my company's Wi-Fi that my IT guy knows how I get down? Asking for a friend? No, he'll allow it. I work in IT, and had a client call up one day explaining that he uses his computer for personal stuff too. He was like a one-person company that we supported, and asked us to unblock porn. I actually had a lot of respect for him calling and being totally professional about it. Also work in IT. Some company owners are so brazen about their porn usage on company devices that they think it's funny. Only the powerful ones. Sent an email to someone I thought was helping me, threw me under the bus. Same thing here. Stood up for myself one too many times, texted a coworker about this and some shared concerns he had also talked about with me. Coworker showed already. Angry boss my text. Bye-bye job and career. Never put anything in writing that can be used against you later. Had a workplace accident, fall from height. Didn't get fired but broke enough bones that I'll never work in that industry again. Same, carpenter in the film industry. On the set of Supernatural, last day of season 12 before hiatus. We build a house on location. Fell from that roof, shattered my heel. Can't do the 12+ hour days that is the standard in the industry. 12-year career gone in flames, just like that. Didn't happen to me, but I remember a coworker of mine getting fired because he put laxatives in his own lunch bag. Some dickhead kept stealing parts of our lunches. Turned out, it was our supervisor. Edit. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of upvotes edit too. I'm not too keen on the specifics since that coworker and I weren't exactly friends or anything. Just kind of had simple conversations during lunch and whatnot. Apparently it is illegal to poison food with malicious intent. And some of my friends who worked there said he got into some legal trouble because of it. Nothing came of it from what I heard. But that's about all I know. Imagine stealing someone food and fired him. Yeah, that's shitty, no pun intended. It's illegal to do because of allergy stuff, I'm sure. I would have made the case that I needed those laxatives and was backed up. Yup. You should make it super spicy instead. That's way more defensible than laxatives. One of the directors wasn't happy with some work I'd done, started poking me hard with his finger to punctuate his comments. I punctuated back considerably more forcefully. Company I was working for hired on a new CEO and his heel dog ops MGR came along with him. Happened to see him in our corp office, just landed a nice $250,000 deal and he exclaims, need to add more zeros. As we exit the office he's standing in the doorway half blocking it, I start to squeeze past him and he turns me sideways and pushes his finger in my chest, telling me I need to do more blah blah. Third time he pushed his finger in my chest I grabbed it and pushed him into the hallway and told him the only man that's allowed to speak to me that way is my father, which he isn't. HR lady's desk is catty corner to that room, so she heard the whole thing go down, and we have a video camera in the office. He was sent packing 3 months later after having to apologize to me. I can't stand people that touch others without permission. They let him work there for 3 more months? WTF. He had some ridiculous contract where his salary was guaranteed for 2 years and % of sales for his division, so the owner asked me personally to squash it. He ended up making some big errors with clients and our production, which led to him agreeing to a buyout at a massively reduced sum. Owner paid that begrudgingly, but also took out insurance on the CEO who died the next year, So he ends up with a new product line, new C-suite that was promoted after they left and pocketed over $2 million. Owner was very shrewd, which is how he has been so successful. Go watch the Marines boot camp videos. Those dudes are masters of putting their finger so close to the person they can feel the heat from it but never actually touching. You can't finger jab someone over crappy work. Like the, "I'm not touching you," from middle school. Getting promoted to supervisor started the dominoes falling. I worked at a prison. I had been there for about 7 years and I knew I was most qualified, so I applied for the open sergeant's position. I got it, which is where this story starts. As a sergeant, it was my job to do investigations and document the findings whenever